Opening you. Fishing.
Black and white vintage documentary photograph. Summer 1945, rural Texas landscape under harsh midday sun. A single U.S. Army transport truck is stopped on a dusty dirt road, heat visibly rising from the ground. The truck has a canvas-covered back, slightly open, revealing young German women POWs seated tightly together inside. Their uniforms hang loose on thin bodies, sleeves rolled, belts tightened too far. Faces are pale, tired, hollow-cheeked. Eyes downcast or staring forward in silence. No weapons, no guards shouting, only quiet tension. The sunlight presses down heavily, creating strong shadows beneath the truck and along the road. Dust clings to boots and hems. One young woman sits near the back, hands clasped around a small cloth pouch in her lap, fingers tense, knuckles visible. The air feels still and suffocating. The surrounding land is flat and open, empty fields stretching into the distance, symbolizing uncertainty and isolation. No buildings yet visible, no signs of safety or danger, only arrival. The mood is restrained, fearful, and expectant. The photograph has heavy film grain, high contrast, soft focus at the edges, and the unmistakable look of a 1940s wartime documentary still. The image captures exhaustion, silence, and the moment just before reality reveals itself. Black and white vintage documentary photograph, summer 1945. Interior of a World War II transport ship crossing the Atlantic. Dim light filters from a hatch above, cutting through stale air heavy with salt and oil. Young German women POWs sit on narrow wooden benches packed close together, shoulders touching, knees drawn in. Their faces show seasickness, fatigue, and quiet dread. Hair is short and uneven, uniforms creased and worn, boots scuffed, hands grip personal bundles, letters, or nothing at all. One woman leans forward, eyes closed, fighting nausea. Another stares upward, lips pressed tight, listening to the groan of the hull. No guards are visible, no weapons. Only the confined space and the soundless suggestion of the ocean beyond steel walls. The ship feels claustrophobic, temporary, suspended between worlds. In the background, chains hang slack, and life preservers rest unused. The atmosphere suggests long nights, hunger, and whispered rumors. The composition is tight and compressed, emphasizing captivity without violence. Strong shadows fall across faces, highlighting cheekbones made sharp by rationing. Heavy film grain, slight motion blur, and high contrast give the image an authentic 1940s wartime reportage look. The moment captures exhaustion, uncertainty, and the silent journey toward an America. Black and white vintage documentary photograph. Summer 1945, arrival at a rural Texas dairy farm. A U.S. Army transport truck has stopped beside a large wooden barn painted red and white. Rendered in grayscale tones. Young German women POWs stand beside the truck, some still stepping down, frozen in disbelief. Their postures are cautious, uncertain, hands held close to bodies. Uniforms remain loose, but faces now show confusion rather than fear. There is no barbed wire, no guard towers, no visible weapons. The land around them is open and clean, flat fields, wooden fences, wide sky stretching endlessly. A middle-aged rancher wearing a cowboy hat and work clothes stands calmly in front of the barn, hands relaxed at his sides, expression neutral but welcoming. His presence contrasts sharply with the women's expectations of punishment. The barn doors are open, revealing a glimpse of the interior, hinting at work rather than confinement. Sunlight falls evenly across the scene, softening shadows and creating a sense of quiet normalcy. Dust rests on the ground, undisturbed. The atmosphere is tense but unreal, as if time has paused. Heavy film grain, high contrast, and slight softness at the edges give the photograph an authentic 1940s documentary feel. The image captures the precise moment when fear collides with unexpected reality. Black and white vintage documentary photograph. Summer 1945, interior of a modern Texas dairy milking parlor. Clean, orderly space with concrete floors and bright overhead light. A long row of Holstein cows stands calmly in individual stalls, their large bodies forming a steady rhythm across the frame. Stainless steel milking machines are attached. Hoses running neatly into polished metal. Pipes that carry fresh milk toward cooling tanks. The machinery gleams unnaturally bright in grayscale, emphasizing cleanliness and efficiency. In the foreground, several young German women POWs stand motionless, caught mid-step, staring in disbelief. Their faces show shock rather than fear, eyes wide, mouths slightly parted. One young woman reaches out hesitantly, fingertips touching a cold metal pipe as if to confirm it is real. Her hand is thin, veins visible. Another woman presses a hand to her chest, breathing shallowly. No guards are present. No urgency, no shouting, only quiet mechanical hum implied by the stillness. The contrast between their worn uniforms and the advanced equipment is stark. The space feels abundant, controlled, untouched by war. Heavy film grain, sharp contrast, and documentary framing give the image a true 1940s wartime realism. The photograph captures the exact moment when scarcity meets overwhelming plenty and disbelief begins to replace expectation. Black and white vintage documentary photograph. Summer 1945, inside a dairy cooling room. A young German woman POW stands in the foreground holding a simple tin cup filled with fresh milk. Her hands tremble slightly, fingers thin, knuckles pronounced. A tear tracks down her cheek, catching the light. Her eyes are lowered toward the cup, as if afraid the milk might disappear if she looks away. The milk appears bright white in contrast to the darker tones around it, symbolizing abundance. Behind her, slightly out of focus, other German women drink quietly, some sipping slowly, others lifting cups with urgency. One woman wipes her eyes with her sleeve. Another holds her cup close to her chest. The room is clean and cool. Stainless steel tanks visible along the walls, smooth and reflective. No guards, no weapons, no restraints. Only stillness and shock. The atmosphere is intimate and heavy with emotion. Light enters from a high window, creating soft highlights on metal surfaces and faces. The composition centers on the act of drinking, not labor or captivity. Heavy film grain, gentle blur at the edges, and high contrast give the image an authentic 1940s documentary feel. The photograph captures the moment when hunger ends, not with words, but with a single cup of milk. Black and white vintage documentary photograph. Summer 1945 evening at a Texas dairy farm. A long wooden table is set outdoors beneath an open sky. Stars just beginning to appear. German women POWs sit closely together on benches, eating their first full meal. Plates hold fried chicken, cornbread, and green beans. Glasses of milk stand in front of each woman. Some half empty, some untouched, all real. Their postures are cautious but softening, shoulders no longer drawn tight. Faces show quiet disbelief and fragile relief rather than fear. One woman pauses mid-bite, eyes closed as if memorizing the taste. Another smiles faintly without realizing it. Nearby, a clean wooden barracks building is visible in the background. Windows open, real beds just discernible inside. There is no barbed wire, no guard towers, no armed presence. Lanterns cast warm pools of light across the table, creating gentle shadows. The atmosphere feels calm, unfamiliar, and almost unreal after years of deprivation. Night air seems cool and still. Heavy film grain, strong contrast, and slight softness at the edges give the image a true 1940s documentary appearance. The photograph captures a turning point, the first moment of safety, nourishment, and the beginning of trust.